And welcome to episode 5 of Podcast-No-Jutsu, Notre Dame! Obviously, today's episode will be as a special shout out to the victim, a building. So, shall we just get into it? Anything you want to say at the start, Nick?
What do you mean victim? There were no victims. It's just the building that burned down.
Exactly, the victim was a building. The victim was a... the victim was the building.
What is the big deal about this Notre Dame anyways?
It's an old building. People like old things, that old people when they stuck them in homes.
Then what about the old buildings which got destroyed by the invaders back in the days during the Great Wars? Nobody's crying over that.
Of course not. Because they're not French.
What is the big deal about French infrastructure or French architecture that everyone's going crazy about?
Yeah. Wait. There's a reason Notre Dame's so popular. The Hunchback of Notre Dame. Good Disney movie.
Okay, I've never seen that Disney movie.
But
then again, like if it's like such a if it's like such an important building with such big historical significance, how come the building wasn't insured? That building wasn't insured. That is the first question that comes to my mind.
I'm sure it's been insured.
No, it wasn't insured.
Can you insure historical value buildings?
Notre Dame wasn't insured. I'm pretty sure that all the other historic buildings are insured. What about the that building in London? What do you call that building? The House of Parliament. That is insured.
Well, yeah, but that's not a historic building. That's just. Oh, let's not talk about the English government.
Victorian era. So technically, it does count as a historical building. So what's the big deal with Notre Dame? I get it. It's like a big cathedral and all that. But I smell something fishy.
When don't you smell something fishy? You hear the news about new bread prices dropping, and you think, conspiracy.
Of course, there is something behind this. Do you know what else is? Do you know what else is funny?
No, probably know what you're gonna say.
There's fire in Israel as well. You know the Alaska Mosque, which is a highly disputed territory. Apparently, Alaska Mosque, it caught fire as well. Don't you think this is like sort of a weird coincidence? The Notre Dame Cathedral gets burned down, and then the Alaska Mosque gets burned down as well. But the only thing that is receiving attention from the media is Notre Dame. You don't see anything about Alaska on the news.
Well, until you mentioned it, I thought Alaska was in America.
What the?
That's a state, isn't Alaska?
To all the viewers out there, that's the brain we are dealing with.
The brain.
That's the brain we are dealing with. He thinks Alaska is it. Say, I have nothing else to say.
Where is Alaska then?
Alaska is in Israel, Jerusalem.
No, Alaska, the cold place with all the snow and.
Alaska. It's Alaska is spelled as Alaska. This is spelled as Alaska. It's a mosque. That's why I kept saying Alaska Mosque.
No, you said Alaska, which is somewhere people go snowboarding.
Yeah, that is in America, yes.
Yes. Oh, the brain we're dealing with was correct. You just can't speak English.
Alaska, aqsa. I don't know how they pronounce this thing. It's Aqsa Mosque. I kept saying mosque a few times, but you would to pick up on it. So yeah.
Oh yeah. And so you inability to speak is my fault now, is it?
I broke out at the mosque the same time the Paris Cathedral burned down.
Well, exactly the same time.
Be a coincidence or what? Too good to be a coincidence or what? And the other thing is that this Notre Dame, it's not insured. A building with such big historical significance, and it's not insured. Like, what the hell?
I mean, once again, it's. I don't know. I'm not Mr. Insure.com. I don't know about insurance. I don't know how it works. Maybe because you get like grades of historical buildings. Maybe if it's too high of a grade, you can't insure because the company would not be able to pay out.
Did you know that the Notre Dame fire, it actually raised $450 million in 4 hours for reconstruction? That's how much the church has raised.
Was under reconstruction anyway?
They're actually going to pay $450 million to reconstruct an old church. Do you really think that it actually requires $450 million?
Well, probably, considering A, it's been damaged by fire. B, it's an old building. C, it's a historical building. And as we know, the church likes to spend money on stupid stuff.
I think this is all a big scam just to make money.
God. I'm pretty sure the church does not need to scam more to make money. I'm pretty sure they do well enough with their Sky Daddy.
Maybe the church is working with the French government authorities, and they actually hired an arsonist or someone to actually burn the church down just to make it look like some random fire broke out. Like, come on, man. A fire that burned an entire...
What happened. It's pretty obvious what happened. One of the buildings on site dropped a cigarette.
And it literally burned down 3/4 of the building. Is that?
Well, yeah. I mean, if they were like repainting it and it was flammable paint.
He was an arsonist. He knew exactly where to put it, and he planned the entire thing out. But if
you're giving too much credit to French people.
La femme, la fatigue, la flame. Heard of that saying? The French, they're pretty passionate. That's what they say, right? But if it was a fiery, passionate guy who was actually fiery, passionate about flames, la flame, la arsonist, they actually decided to.
I really doubt it. Just because. Once again, I don't think the church needs to burn down other historic buildings to make $500,000. All they have to do is tell all the
there is some other
that they need money and they will get it. Sorry?
There is some other sinister force behind this. I'm guessing the French government, backed by some evil, sinister organization that is working.
The government does not require $500,000. Do you know how much the government makes?
Exactly, the government doesn't require $500,000. Then, I mean, like, did you really think that it requires like $450 million to restore the church? I don't think so. So where do you think the majority of the money is going to go to? It's definitely going to go into the pockets of some shady government officials or whoever.
No, what you don't understand about the fact that it's the government building. You can't just slap a bit of brick on it and like, oh, fixed. No, it has to be restored. You know how much? Do you know how? Obviously, as a religious person, you should know about the fucking Jesus painting that they done on the cheap, and the painting looked like a chubby kid going to a swimming pool.
I'm a religious person and all that, but I'm like completely against like the extravagant stuff that the church is doing in the name of religion. I'm totally against it.
No,
instead of
for it. I'm just saying. Do you remember?
Extravagant statues, using that money to actually help the people in need. I'm like completely against that. Neither do I support things like that. I'm just gonna go on record to clarify that.
Look, you're ignoring my point here. Why? Why are you ignoring it? What are you scared
Okay, go on. I'm not scared of anything. Go on.
What I'm saying is, to restore something properly, which I'm sure they won't just half-ass, you need professionals. You need I'm sure that. Look, I'm also sure that a lot of the money they got extra is going to be on top. If they made it in a charity, that's people donating. If people over donate, you can't blame the people who got the money for people over donating.
Do you know how much it costs to rebuild the wall towers?
How much?
Some freaking $3.8 billion to
Okay.
The World Trade Center. That is mad.
That's not that bad.
What do you mean that's not that bad? Well, considering how big that building is, and if you look at the size of the Notre Dame church and look at its infrastructure in regards to the World Trade Center, it shouldn't be costing $450 million, because obviously you ain't gonna install like sophisticated security features or sophisticated high-end technology into a church area, unless the French Secret Services, they're running something inside the church.
Yes, they're running a secret baguette organization.
I don't know. They might be running something.
Yes, they might be running away from people like you.
Very funny. And I find it really strange that a fire broke out in Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem the same time a fire broke out at Notre Dame Cathedral. I find that really, really, really odd. There is something suspicious going on, and it is too damn good to be a coincidence. It's too damn good to be a mere coincidence. There is something fishy going on here. And the fact that only Notre Dame fire is getting recognition by the media, because like,
well, it's pretty simple. Why? That's the stupidest comment you've made yet.
What do you mean? It's pretty obvious. Why? The Al-Aqsa Mosque in Jerusalem.
Building. I've never heard of the building. Look, I've never heard of this building ever in my life until you mentioned it. I still thought it was in America because you said Alaska originally. Notre Dame is known by anyone. I don't like geography, and I don't care about historical places, really. But I know Notre Dame. That's the point. People know Notre Dame. It's famous.
So, yes, if people know. So you're saying that just because it's famous, it requires $450 million? And
no.
Dollars?
What I'm saying is, it's famous, so it's in the news.
Obviously, it is sad.
No, you're changing what I said. I said it's famous, so it gets recognition by the media. Because, look, famous building burning. Oh no, everyone listen to us talking about it. Building no one knows about is burning. No one cares. People who obviously know the building, live in the area, probably do care very much. But people who have no reason, don't know about the building even existing, probably don't give a shit. Most likely don't give a shit. I'm sure a lot of people you told this to be like, oh no, this religious place burned down, how sad.
There's like 0 reported casualties behind this fire. Nobody died. Nobody is missing. A building burned down and everyone is losing their shit. Did you know what is weird? A cyclone called Idai, it actually hit 3 countries in Africa. Malawi, Mozambique, and Zimbabwe, killing more than 1,000 people, with many more feared still missing, and leaving hundreds and thousands of people homeless. And do you know how much money they actually raised in a month? Just $88 million for that. A catastrophe. A major catastrophe. And Notre Dame, a church which burned down, they actually raised $450 million in just 24 hours. Don't you find this odd?
No, not at all.
No media has covered it. Why? Because Africa is not a popular country, and the people there, they don't deserve any recognition from the media. Is that what you're trying to say here?
First of all, don't put words in my mouth. What I'm trying to say is, media will report things that will affect people they're reporting to. If, for example, I told you the Jets are not getting to the league this year.
I don't give a bollocks about the Jets.
Exactly. But someone who lives in the town of Jets or is a Jets fan will be like, fuck, bruh.
That's exactly what's wrong. People's attentions are towards stuff that doesn't matter and that doesn't have any real life implications whatsoever. This thing, it actually has major real life implications, like thousands of people, they died, thousands of people, they're homeless, thousands of people, they're feared to be missing or even dead. And nobody gives a bollocks about it. Why?
Because that's
everybody's gonna start staring if it starts happening to them. Like nobody gives a shit like if it's happening to other people. The moment it starts happening to them, they go batshit crazy. Oh my god, it's happening. What's happening? Blah 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 blah. Then they care.
There's a few reasons to that. For example, people with low low human empathy. For example, I couldn't care less what happens to people I don't know.
Yeah, till what happened to those people actually happens to you, then it's going to be very funny.
If it affects me or people I know, yes. If it affects people around me, like for example, let's say someone gets shot in my town, I will care because it happened in my surrounding, for example, right? But a lot of people, and media knows this very well because that's why you don't hear about it, is they only care what will affect them. That is a simple fact. We are social creatures, but at the same time, we are very, very tribal, which means you only tend to care what's going to happen to your tribe. Yes, there's plenty of people who have a lot of compassion for other people. Yes, you can't deny that. But the problem is, you can't convince the entire world to care for other people, and that's not necessarily a problem. It could be seen as a good thing in a way. But at the same time, it causes all other sort of problems, like we talked about. I think it was episode 1 where we talked about nationalism and loving your country too much.
That was episode 2, I believe. Yeah.
Oh, whatever. Then yeah, that can cause that. But at the same time, a lot of people who care what happens in their area try to make the area better. And is that bad? Is it bad that they will? How much good? Is enough good to counter out the bad? It should be the big question here, because if a person helps their community, right, puts a lot of effort and money into it, would you say they're a good person doing that?
Yeah, I would say that they're a good person doing that.
Okay. Let's say they give £500,000 to the homeless. Let's say it's a rich person. Okay, and they save a lot of homeless people from sleeping on the streets. They're a good person. Now, then let's say they're an American. Then for example, in China, there's a or let's use your, the actual news that happens, and they don't care because it doesn't affect them. Would you say they're a bad person for not doing that? At this point, you don't know about them giving to homeless people.
Okay, I see what you mean.
Because
but, as I said, I'm not pinpointing any particular people here.
No, I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying there's a difference between not caring and being a good person or being a bad person.
You do have a point there.
I really hate charities personally, because
me too.
Sorry?
Yeah, me too. Like I believe that 3/4 of the charities are just scams. That's what I personally think.
And the problem is sometimes it's not that they're also scams. It's when they're not scams and they're generally hurting the communities. I forgot. Oh God, what was the names of the shoe brand? There was a shoe brand that if you bought a pair of shoes, they send a pair of shoes to some kids in Africa, because it seems to always be bloody Africa. But here's the thing. That's all good. You think, oh, I'm helping a child in Africa by paying these overpriced shoes. Now, here's the thing. A pair of shoes to be made probably under £1, right?
And it's the African kids who actually make the shoes, right? That's the irony, right?
That's not what I was going to say, but
that's the irony here, right?
It could be, but what I was going to say is it takes 60 quid then to sell the shoe, right? So they've made £59.
Are you talking about Nike?
I don't think it was Nike. It was they were like a fancy sort of shoe thing, I think. I can't remember the name. It was one guy, Tom something, I think. Anyway, So he just made 60 quid and he spent under £1 to send someone shoes.
That's called the power of branding.
But here's the thing. Okay, let's say, okay, yeah, he's a good guy. He sent the shoes, which, yeah, some people will say that, I'd love to have a new pair of shoes, but then that means the shops that sell shoes in that area, the people who work by repairing shoes, now they've lost money because someone just got a new pair of shoes for free, which means they cannot support themselves and their family, so they need to require help.
No, like whenever I talk about conspiracy theories, that's what I mean. This is the big picture. Somebody is getting screwed over because of corporate greed in the name of money. People are getting screwed over here.
But they're not necessarily doing that on bad premises. In the eyes of the guy doing it, he might think, I'm helping shoes. He might not consider the fact that his shoes may be damaging the economy, which in the long run is going to damage the people living there. But the big problem with all these charities is, especially the ones where they help someone in a different country, is a lot of the time they're forcibly compare them to their own standards. So, for example, we have a standard of living. The average standard of living in Europe or America, is quite high, considering. So if you compare that to someone, for example, lives in, like a tribal town in Africa, a lot of these towns they make them look so backwards. They live in mud huts. They don't have electricity. They don't have running water. Feel bad for them. But the thing is, so you're telling me that all of these problems and they somehow managed to survive this long without your help. Yes, I'm sure they had a medical skill, is important. But the problem is, if you start giving all this effort to help these countries or all these people, it can also hurt them, because as bad as it's gonna sound, in all like these backwards places, yes, you help with birth, so there isn't as much death at birth. That means the population is bigger. That means their water problem becomes a bigger problem. That means the food becomes a bigger problem, which means they need more help with that, or they have to expand. But the more they expand, the more kids there is, and forcibly.
That's where birth control comes into play. They need to educate them about birth control and its uses. That's what I'd say.
Birth control is it's not really a solution, because once again, I don't know how to put my words in. What I'm trying to say is, it's all good to have a simple answer, but the problem is it's not that simple, because yes, people with a lot of compassion want to help these people live a good life in their eyes, which is not a bad thing. But then the problem comes when they get a better life, but still not good enough in the eyes of the person who's helping them. So how much is enough help? That's the big problem here.
Well, in my view, like if a person or a family, if they are like able to lead like a normal, stable, happy life, I guess, in my view, in my perception, I guess that's when it's enough help.
Yeah,
in my perception, that's enough help. Like if they can raise their family, if they can raise themselves, be happy. Obviously, you cannot be happy all the time. There are going to be internal conflicts within your family, but that's for you to deal with. I'm talking about the external factors like money and bills and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, which, that's, I would say that's a good way of looking at it. But the problem is, like going back to our original point, a lot of people are very compassionate, which, they probably care about all these problems, but without actually having a solution, helping can be detrimental. You know.
Yeah, I agree. I do
you don't want to move them. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. Go on.
Yeah, so, even though you might think you're helping by moving someone, you're not at that point.
I can totally agree with you on that one, because that's something that I've actually felt a lot in my real life as well. In my eyes, I might think that I'm actually helping a person, but in the end, I'm the one who's getting blamed. They're like, why the hell? Why the hell are you doing this? We never asked you to do this, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying, right? That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, and that's the problem. The news cannot report everything. I mean, they should. I am of the view they should report everything, but that's not going to make the money. That's not what people care about. And at the end of the day, they have to, provide a lot of information to a lot of people.
The point that you just made a few seconds ago, you said that that's the thing that's not going to make the money. That's the thing that really pisses me off, because everything has to be about money, about making profits and all that. Obviously money is important. I'm not going to say that money isn't important. Obviously you do need a bit of wealth to actually lead a happy, comfortable life. Not going to deny any of that, but then again, like, why does everything have to revolve around money? Like, are you going to take all this wealth and all this money like when you're going to die? Are you really going to do that?
How many people actually think about when they're going to die? What matters now is here and now. Also, you talk about all this money being, but without extra money, they could not possibly run their business. And that's
I do get it. Okay, I do get it, like having extra money or needing extra money.
It's not their job to do it. They're doing it because they want to. It's your job then to not consume their information if you disagree with them so much.
I don't consume anything. I'm not going out there. I'm not the one who's buying Nikes and Adidas and all that.
Yeah, but we're talking about media right now. It's.
I don't watch mainstream news. I don't. I forgot. It was like what? It's been like what, almost 2 years since I've actually followed mainstream news channels. So these are news that I actually get from articles and from podcasts, from listening to podcasts and all that. That's where I get all my information from.
Okay. All these podcasts, they ask for money. They usually have Patreon. They put advertisements.
I'm not paying them.
People, you're not. But without people actually paying them, they could not continue.
So
and they could not provide information.
So you're saying that I should boycott them by not listening to anything and be like completely ignorant of what's happening around?
If your fault is with people being, wanting money to continue what they're doing, it's people like you, they make it for people who consume the media.
I said I have a problem with people making money. I never made such a statement. What I said was that, why does everything have to revolve around money? And I meant money as greed. Greed is what I'm referring to here. I have no problem with people making money. Kudos to the people who are actually making money. But why do you have to make money? Why does everything have to revolve around making too much excess money? What are you going to do with all that money? Are you going to eat all that money? That's all I'm saying.
You can do a lot of things with money.
Like
you could secure your kid's future. You could buy all the things you want. You could enjoy life. You could have no limits set upon you. The more money you got, the more free you are, basically.
So let's say, for example, we start a business, we make $1 billion. Yeah. Let me just ask you this: are we not set for life?
It depends on what we do with the money. Okay, let me ask you this. You like Ferraris. You buy a Ferrari.
We make $1 billion, yeah? A Ferrari doesn't got $1 billion. We make $1 billion, okay? We start a business. We just run it for like 5 years or something. We get lucky. We make $1 billion. I get 500 million, you get 500 million. Are we or are we not set for life? That's all I'm asking. Given we make smart investments.
Oh, so now you want to make investments to make more money? That's greedy.
Smart investments. Real estate. That's not bad.
That's making money. That you just straight away you just want more money there. So you're being greedy.
So that we have a stable income coming in.
So,
we
in a argument.
What do you mean?
You just criticize them for wanting more money, and now you said, "Oh, I want a stable income and I want more money."
Yeah, but the money that we made, we're not doing anything.
Your problem is not the fact they want more money; is they got more money than you.
Then I would be out there stealing their money. That's what I would be doing.
No, that's your argument.
Running like some sort of a scam business or something, and I can easily make some money.
You just collapse your own argument with a single sentence.
Okay, let's just say that we don't make any smart investments. We make like 500 million each. No investments, no nothing. Are we or are we not set for life? Because as far as I'm concerned, I have no clue what I'm going to do with 500 million. I'd probably spend like maximum of 5 million, and I won't even know like what to do with the rest of the money.
I could very easily spend 500 million if I had the money.
Okay, I'm talking about me. The rest of the money, yeah, as you said, I could support my children or whatever, and still I could have like 300 million or 400 million left. For at least 400.
Okay.
I could, if I have 500 million in me, I could spend like, I could see myself spending around 100 million, and the rest 400 million, I have no clue what I'm gonna do with it.
Yeah, but that's not the point here. Yes, you could live a comfortable life, but what if you want to live fun life? What if suddenly Nerve Gear comes out and it costs 400 million?
What?
And you have 500 Nerve Gear, virtual reality.
If I don't,
400 million, you have 500 million.
If I don't have that, I'm not gonna buy it. It's as simple as that. If I have that kind of money, then definitely, maybe I might do it.
I'm just saying,
it excites me.
If you got your 500 million and this costed 400 million, would you get it?
Nope. Because that would be making a stupid decision. Yes, I'm 100% sure.
Okay.
I had the whole 1 billion in my hands, then yeah.
Okay,
maybe.
So you're saying there's a limit, but you still make stupid decisions.
If I had more money, yes. If I had more money, then yes, that would mean that I could have stupid decisions.
Would you be sad that you couldn't get it if you had only 500 then?
No.
So you're saying you wouldn't be disappointed that you can't get virtual reality headset that actually lets you go into a fancy world and live out all your,
Nope. I'd take a pass.
You take a pass, but so you're saying
I'd rather experience fantasy as reality. You know what I'm saying, right?
Okay. Let's say we got the 500 each, and I got one.
Okay, good for you.
Would you not be, more willing to get one? If you found out it's like really cool.
I could always borrow yours, so why would I want to get for myself?
They get genetically set, so no one else can use except the user.
To be honest, I'm a guy who's against genetic manipulations and stuff, so...
It's not genetic manipulation, you fucktard. That's genetically locking a device to your brain signals.
Yeah, whatever, like, I don't know, that doesn't sound safe, so I'd take a pass.
Okay. We should probably go back to our original point now.
Notre Dame, right?
Yes. It's, if our original point, your point was, why do people care so much? Has that answered your question?
In a way it has, but then again, okay, it is sad that such a big historic building has burned down. It is a big part of history, yada, yada, yada. I get it, but then again, like, why is it getting so much attention? That is the only thing that is pissing me off. It shouldn't be getting this much attention. But as you said, yes, I get it. Like, why people are so concerned about it, because it appeals to most people. It certainly doesn't appeal to me. The only thing that I care about Notre Dame is that Napoleon Bonaparte, he actually got ascended as a king there, I believe.
Oh.
They'd had to do something with his coronation to the throne. That's the only thing that I care about Notre Dame.
Yeah. He was a bit of a ladies'
I'm a big
man,
fan of Napoleon Bonaparte. He was a don.
Yeah, he literally, that's where his name comes from. Napoleon boned a party. He literally boned the whole party.
I mean, I'm not kidding. Like, if you look into his backstory, he was a total loner. He was like a total introvert kind of guy. He came from like a pretty average family, and he rose up the ranks to become like one of the greatest generals or warlords that Europe has ever seen.
If only he wasn't
so short. You gotta respect that.
If only he wasn't so short.
If he wasn't what?
So short.
So short. That should be enough motivation for the short people as well. A short guy with no muscles, no six packs. He went on to conquer the world. I mean, conquer Europe at least. He was like one of the strongest warlords that Europe has ever seen. So you got to respect that. I've got nothing but admiration for that guy.
Well, he seems to have more than that. You have more than just admiration for your Bonaparte daddy.
You have a dirty mind.
Oh, what gave you that idea?
It's not my fault that I'm pure-hearted, unlike you.
No, you're not.
Of course I am.
No, you're not.
When I'm asleep, I'm pure-hearted.
Yeah, okay. Fine, whatever. Okay, something I was going to mention, which I sort of was hoping you'd mention. About Napoleon being short. What is wrong with that statement?
Nothing. You're the one who brought it up. I'm not the one who brought it up. You're the one who said that he's short.
Yes, but there's something. If he's such a big role model of yours, you should know the problem with what I'm saying.
What? I don't see any problem. He was short. He was born that way, so why should I have a problem with that?
So you're not as big of a fan of Bonaparte as you think, because he wasn't short.
Okay, so he wasn't short. Okay, so he was average. So what? There are a lot of you people who view average as short nowadays. So your point being?
No. What I'm saying is the whole, Bonaparte was really short. He had a small man complex. The whole thing's a hoax. He was average for his time. And it's not that people now view... What?
What are you on about? It makes no sense. What are you on about? He was average height, so what?
Oh my!
Does that change the fact that he was one of the greatest warlords that Europe has ever seen, or one of the greatest conquerors that Europe has ever seen? That doesn't change anything.
Are you being daft on purpose?
It doesn't dampen bollocks.
But that's what I'm saying, you fucking retard. The whole concept, people always make fun of the fact he was short. Even back in the day, that's where it all started. That entire thing is a hoax created to demeanor him.
I don't think that he was short. The thing that really got my attention was the fact that he actually came from an average family. He was a loner, because obviously they sent him to some aristocratic school where these big aristocratic kids they used to go, and he wasn't that well off. So kids they wouldn't like talk to him that much or communicate with him that much or communicate at all. He was like a complete loner, and he was like a proper introvert. So what really attracted to me was this fact, because I could see a lot of me in him, if that makes sense. Being an introvert, not
denying that. All I'm saying is
that is the thing that actually attracted to me. I don't give a bollocks like how he looked physically, or if he was short, or if he was tall. That's not the thing that
likes conspiracy theories. You really seem to hate the truth.
This is not African conspiracy theory.
The fact he was short was. That's what I'm saying. It was a conspiracy theory. He wasn't short before saying it to use it against him to lessen his power. He was attacked both physically and he was attacked by spreading false rumors.
Okay, yes, I agree with that. Yeah, that was people trying to demean him. Yes. Okay, I agree.
That's what I'm saying. But the thing about that I'm saying is this is something that became common knowledge. If you ask anyone with Napoleon, they'll probably tell you that he was French and short.
Yeah, I see where you're getting at.
Fucking hell, it took your time.
That's the same thing the government are doing nowadays. They're deceiving us.
Now you go into your conspiracy theories, but after I tried to tell you one and you refused to listen.
Okay, fine. It's true. I thought you were on about something else.
You didn't know what I was on about.
Now I do know what you're on about. So I apologize. The brain.
No, I don't accept it.
The apologize. Let me say that in French.
I don't accept your apology.
Let me translate that into French so you accept my apology. Let me find French here.
I don't speak French. I don't give up.
You don't give a what?
I don't give up.
You don't give up?
Yeah.
Je suis the seul bête.
Now, I'm pretty sure your pronunciation was more offensive to French people than all the French jokes I said so far.
Je suis the seul bête. I have no idea what that means. What the? Apparently, that's how they say beast in French. Bête.
Bête. Oh my god, you are a beta. I knew it. You're a beta man.
Bet.
You are a beta. Yeah, you're right. You'll never be an alpha.
Je suis the seul bête.
I agree, you are a beta.
Screw you.
You said it. The French agree with me.
That means my French was correct.
No, what it means is you're a beta.
Oh, that wait. I got something wrong here.
No. I don't care about French.
It means the beast. So I'm actually apologizing to myself. I was supposed to apologize to the brain, not the beast, because I am the beast.
And you don't have a brain. Checks out. Next.
Je suis the seul cerveau.
Oh, talking of having a brain, it's Wednesday today. That means we get an episode of One Punch Man and Kenja no Mago. Yeah. Let's change the subject to anime.
I
don't care about French. Fucking hell,
why are you so up on Notre Dame, Monsieur?
I don't care.
Why did you bring Notre Dame up? Why did you make?
Because it's in the news. What did bring Notre Dame up? Oh, I'm sorry for trying to use a popular topic in a conversation to trying to get views and shekel some shekels. Fucking hell. Look. Just
somebody.
I think, and I'm sure other people will agree with me.
It doesn't matter what you think.
Oh, it fucking does, especially when I'm talking to you, fucking Mr. Asshole. I think we should probably think about ending the episode because we've just entered a hole of why would you even? You just spent about 5 minutes trying to pronounce "I'm sorry, beast" in French, and you are apologizing to the wrong person.
I was apologizing to myself. So
yeah, for being born.
For being awesome.
So you sound like Gargamel when you laugh.
I sound like what?
Gargamel.
Gargamel?
Oh, now you don't know Smurfs. What do you know?
I used to watch Smurf when I was like, what, 7 or 8. I used to watch Smurfs in Cartoon Network when I was a little kid. I haven't
Oh, you
watched
had
Smurfs since.
Smurfs on Cartoon Network?
Yeah,
Oh,
we had Smurfs on Cartoon Network. What did you have Smurfs on?
I
Disney?
don't fucking remember.
But like
don't
almost
know.
all the cartoons that I've seen as a kid, it was aired on Cartoon Network.
I didn't even have Cartoon Network.
That's because you come from a crap country.
Says you, Mr. Either a drought or a bloody flood.
Ooh, that's offensive. You're gonna offend a hell of a lot of people. Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I'm sorry that your country don't seem to have a stable power grid. Oh, I'm sorry.
A white person cannot criticize our country. That's racist and offensive.
I'm pretty sure 90% of your population would agree with me that your infrastructure seems really shit.
No, they would go batshit crazy on you. Look what happened to PewDiePie.
He won. It's a celebration.
But look what happened to him. Like everyone in the country, they're like going batshit crazy on him. Why would you think that people agree with you? Yeah.
Are they actually?
Yeah.
Pathetic. But the thing is, it's one channel, one guy.
And Smurfs. How did we actually end up from talking about Notre Dame to PewDiePie and Smurfs and Cartoon Network?
Basically, India.
You're not supposed to say that.
Well, no, white. It is. That's
a white boy cannot be out there making comments like this.
Well, it's true though, because I said you sound like.
True or not? We are living in the 20th century. The 21st century. A white person cannot
when you laugh.
Like...
And you're Indian. Then you said you used to watch Smurfs on Cartoon Network. So we started talking about how India has Smurfs on Cartoon Network. India again, and then you started talking about PewDiePie. So you mentioned it. You're from India. So the reason we're talking about Gargamel and Smurf is India. Case closed.
I see what you did there. Just so you were wondering, I was being sarcastic all the time.
He wasn't. He's genuinely. He basically, his parents dropped him as a kid. He never recovered. One day when he has a face reveal, you understand when you see his face.
That's not what the lady said.
We're running out of topics because now we're just insulting each other.
And people are going to be like, what are these two idiots on about?
Not a lot by the sounds of it. Anyway, I think we're going to cut it short here.
That's a wrap for this episode.
Yeah. I'd like to apologize
to absolutely nobody.
I'd like to apologize for how short this episode is going to end up. I'm sure. Well, yes. Also, I'd like to tell everyone that there won't be another episode this week. Apologies for that. I will having a few issues, but hopefully we'll be back to normal scheduling next week.
He's having girlfriend issues.
I wish. No. Basically, Monday, Wednesday, Saturday, you can expect videos next week. And hopefully we shall try to keep to that schedule as much as we can. But anyway, Patty signing out.
And happy Easter in advance, guys.
Right. Goodbye.
Sayonara.
Fucking cunts.
Is it